that due to this and this and this. But just saying conflicting schedule, that is not the reason, Mr. Speaker. That is not a fair reason to give to this honorable house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Noted. Are we done? Before we read out the recommendations. Well, honorable members, we can bring this matter to conclusion. I know the CCM member in charge of transport and infrastructure, together with the chief officer, accompanied by their technical officers, were to appear before this committee today. We've received a letter from the said CCM indicating that he got conflicting schedules, and that is the reason he was unable to attend to this meeting. I know the committee has proposed a number of interim recommendations, and also the chief officer, both of them to appear before the committee. Two, the CCM member in charge of transport and infrastructure to provide information as regard his conflicting schedule to the meeting that he was to attend before the Committee on General Oversight today. Three, that the committee will proceed to make findings, to make observations, and also make recommendations, notwithstanding the appearance of the said members in view of the letter that has been sent to the County Assembly, and the other recommendations that we had proposed. And I direct that the committee clerk ensure that the said communication is transmitted to the said department before close of business today.
Honorable Chair, I wish that the displeasure of the House is noted in no uncertain terms when such a communication is made. It should be made very clear that we cannot tolerate, and we will not tolerate.
Well, that is on record, Honorable Isaiah Minor, that indeed the committee is displeasure with the actions taken by the said department, that is the CCM in charge, and also the chief officer for choosing not to appear before this committee. That is well noted. Honorable Isaiah, I note that you had also raised an issue on the IFMIS printout. This is something that is seized with the Department of Finance and Economic Planning, and as communicated last week, the chairperson in charge of Finance and Economic Planning will be reverting back to the House in due course. So as soon as we are done with that, we'll make further recommendations. So honorable members, that is all. That is all in terms of transport and infrastructure. You note that also the CCM member in charge of administration and public service was to appear before this committee. Can he, or rather can the team be ushered in? Honorable members, you stepping out? Kindly, please. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, we have a team from administration and public service, and members, this is a committee on general oversight that is established pursuant to Standing Order 187A, which provides that there shall be a select committee to be designated Committee on General Supervision, to be chaired by the Speaker, or in his absence, the chairperson of committees, that is the Deputy Speaker. The Committee on General Supervision shall be a committee of the whole House. The committee may, pursuant to Section 39(2)(b) of the County Government Act 2012, invite members of the County Executive Committee to provide answers relating to the members' responsibilities as raised by the members under Standing Order 45B. The committee may invite to its meeting more than one member of the county executive so as to address matters relating to more than one county department. And B, the member who had raised the question being addressed by the committee. So welcome the CCM member in charge of administration. Probably for the purposes of these proceedings, you can introduce your team.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. Before introducing the team accompanying me before this honorable house today, let me first of all introduce myself. I'm Keter Isaiah, the CCM in charge of administration, public service, and ICT. Accompanying me here today is the chief officer in charge of administration, public service, and ICT, Jonathan Misoy. Then there is the director for administration, Juliana Cherop, and then there is Naum Keter, director, public participation and civic education. I thank you.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. Honorable members, on 21st February 2024, a letter was addressed to the county secretary and followed with a letter dated 8th May 2024 inviting the CCM in charge of administration and public service. And I'll read the details of that particular invitation. The subject matter is appearance before the Nandi County Assembly Committee on General Supervision. Reference is made to the letter dated 21st February 2024, inviting you to appear before the Committee on General Supervision, but the meeting was postponed and the same was communicated to your office. That has been decided that you appear on Thursday, 16th May 2024 at 10 a.m. along with the County Public Service Board members to respond to the issues raised in the statements attached. Just before we proceed, by dint of you appearing before this county assembly today, it is a clear indication that you received that invitation. And there are a number of issues that you were supposed to respond on. We've not received any written submissions or written responses. Would you be kind enough to inform the committee whether you've...
Point of order, Honorable
Yes,
Chair.
Honorable Minor.
Could we have the witnesses take oath? Because whatever it is that they will be sharing with us, we would like it to be under oath.
Also,
Honorable
Chair,
Keter.
also, Chair, I can see the invite was extended to Public Service Board members. And from the look of things, when the introduction was done, I didn't saw or hear anybody from the Public Service Board. Can we have representative from there?
The CCA member, do you have any member from the Public Service Board?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the County Assembly. I can confirm that there is no member from the County Public Service Board. Thank you.
Honorable members, you note that the Department of Administration and Public Service, we only have the representation from the Department of Administration and Public Service. And for the absence of the members from the Public Service Board, I know the committee will delve that issue at a later schedule. Is that okay with the members?
Good Chair, because this is
Honorable Bet.
Chair, this is a department that you cannot separate the Public Service Board and the administration. Could the CEC be having reasons as to why, and if indeed they received the invite to this house?
Back to you.
May I ask, Honorable Chair?
Yes.
Just before you allow, when we are engaging, you see, would we swear in the witnesses first? Because this is an engagement of the House. And we would like the CEC to commit himself in whatever he's telling us, even including the reliction of duty. Because we cannot possibly even allow him to confirm to us that the members of the board are not here for whatever reason. We have summoned them to appear. I don't think he has a reason. And if he did, he would have shared.
Chair.
Just a minute, please.
Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kogo.
My question is, maybe I thought this letter was written to the CCM, administration, and public service. Maybe, just to ask, maybe there are two different letters. If not, do we have any written response from the public service not to appear before this committee? Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, I know as a committee we are vested with a number of powers. That is pursuant to Standing Order 174. and is submitted by the honorable member from Olesos that the witness do take oath. Indeed, Standing Order 174 provides that the oath to be sworn or affirmation to be made by a witness appearing before a committee shall be in the form set out in the 5th schedule. Consequently, honorable members, I think for the purposes of this engagement, we can have the witness before this assembly be sworn in, and the clerk kindly.
I, Keplagat Isaiah Keter, the CCM Administration, Public Service, and ICT, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Well, thank you for that. I think we're now ripe to proceed. Isaiah Ketera, kindly confirm that the team that has accompanied you will also be participating in these proceedings for the purposes of taking oath.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The team that is here with me had one responsibility here to help me in tracing of the documentations and sections that may be required.
It is okay. Then we therefore ripe to proceed. Honorable members, as earlier communicated, that there are a number of statements that were sought. One is a statement that was sought on 10th May 2023.
Honorable Chair, just before we proceed, I would like us to deal with the question of, it has been decided you appear on today along with the County Public Service Board members. I do realize that there are a few other statements there that do not touch necessarily on the Public Service Board, but could we dispense with that question?
Very correct, the chair implementation. That indeed, in the letter dated 8th May 2024, you had been advised to appear alongside the County Public Service Board members. Would you have any indication as to why they are not present today?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. Indeed, the letter here that was received on the 9th of May 2024 indicates that I should appear along with the County Public Service Board members. When I look at the end after the signature of the clerk to the County Assembly, that is Barnaba Kosgei, I can see that this letter was copied to the County Secretary, copied to the County Public Service Board members, and copied to all County Assembly members. And therefore, when I received this letter, Honorable Speaker, together with the members of, honorable members of the County Assembly, I did prepare, knowing that I have received this letter, but a copy has been given to the members of the Public Service Board. So I cannot be able to be in a position to state a reason why members of an independent body called the County Public Service Board could not turn before the Assembly. I thank you.
Honorable
Chair.
Honorable Chair, now
Yes,
leading to,
have your mic on, please, Honorable Kogo.
It's Honorable Chair. So my question is, Honorable Speaker, are we going to separate the two, the administration and public service, and yet we know that we have to deal with the two same CCs and the county secretary?
Honorable Kogo, you had the submission by the witness that a separate copy was served upon the County Public Service Board members, and therefore he is not in a position to respond as to why they are not with him today.
Oh, Honorable Chair.
So then, Honorable Chair, shall we separate the two? So shall we deal with the CCM administration, thereafter we deal with the other who are not appearing before us today?
We'll be able to determine that as we progress. Honorable Keter.
Yes, thank you, Chair, for giving me this opportunity. Mine is just to give suggestion through the Chair whether we will continue or we will adjourn until those public service board members to be here. So that because these are the people that we invited them alongside, because we knew from the honorable members that questions and what we want to get clearance, Mr. Chairman, is that both from both sides. So today we will only deal with the public service members without the other team. Chair, I find it difficult on how they will respond. Unless, because from the look of things, our CC has just distanced himself from the public service board.
That is noted.
Chair, thank you. I also want to second what Honorable Whip have said. Matters that were raised in this statement are very serious matters that touches on public service and a number of them on administration. And from where I sit, and I think this is opinion of a number of members, it is not in order for us to sit there and discuss such matters that affects our county in absence of public service board. These are very serious issues that for long has been treated casually. Indeed, we should give this committee respect that it deserves. And to the CCM, you can't work in isolation. These are administrative issues that you should have reached out to public service board in as much as a carbon copy was given to them. As an administrator, you should have been concerned. As clearly indicated by the letter, you can assume, even though it is a department that runs independently, but matters that were raised need very serious attention. And we can handle these matters in absentia of public service board. Chair, I would request that we adjourn until people respect the decision and the request made by this county assembly. Thank you.
For question. Honorable
Chair.
I have a question. I have 3 members, and in this case, I'll invoke. I know Honorable Tarbe is a ranking member. We can have him address the chair thereafter.
I have a question to the CC chair. That it's clear in the letter. If you can see, the letter was copied even to the assembly, Mr. Chair. So the fact that the CC could have assumed that it is a copied letter, but in the letter it's clearly indicated, it has been decided that you appear on Thursday, 16 May, 2024 at 10 a.m. along with the County Public Service Board, which is a department domiciled within the CC. Can the CC confirm whether it just on courtesy issue did he reach out to the public service board to confirm on the same, Mr. Speaker, whether he...
Honorable Tarbeya, I think the CCM member in charge of administration and public service has clearly indicated that County Public Service Board is distinct from the Department of Administration and Public Service, unless I did not hear you right.
He confirmed, Chair, but I wanted to confirm, now that he's the head of the two, he is the CC in charge of administration and public service board. So in as much as he assumed the letter was...
Honorable Tarbeya, you can have your seat. The CCM member has confirmed that the County Public Service Board is a distinct department, unless if I did not get you correct. Will you clarify that?
I can confirm, Honorable Chair, that you got it 100% correct. Thank you.
Honorable Chair,
Well, Honorable Minor.
whereas he confirms, and I think there is something factually wrong, because it is not a department. The board is a board. It is not a department. It is true that it operates as a separate entity only up to the extent that it is not supposed to take instructions. Only up to there. But otherwise, this is an agency of the government of Nandi. The CEC sits in the highest position, the County Executive Committee. He cannot come here and claim that he does not know what happens in the County Public Service Board. That is utter arrogance. Because then what does he do? He sits in the committee that has executive authority of the county. And we have written a letter from this house as the representatives of the people saying to him to come along. And he comes to say he's not aware, or he does not know whether that board is where they sit. Is he telling us that they don't talk? So I think, Honorable Chair, this must be taken with great exception. The CEC cannot address this house in the manner in which he's doing. To claim that that is a separate entity. It is an agency of the government of Nandi. And you are sitting in the executive committee. We have not asked you to give orders to that committee, to that board. That's not what we are saying. But we just imagine that you have communication channels. That is one thing, Honorable Chair. I would like also to raise something else so that he responds to it. We sought these statements so many months ago. So many. In fact, I think there is one that could be easily 1 year old. So before we even talk to this CEC about whether or not the board is here, I think we are even moving before the cut. Why has he not found it necessary to respond to the committee up to now? And in any case, where is the written submission to these questions so that we can begin to entertain him?
That is noted, the Honorable Member from Olesos. Honorable Isaiah Minor, will you have anything to respond?
Thank you so much. Our two names with the Honorable Member from Lesotho.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chair, I think you referred to Honorable somebody else. We share a name, but we don't share the other one.
Isaiah Keter, for record purposes, it should be CC in charge of administration, Isaiah Keter. Thank you for that, Honorable Isaiah Minor.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. That has been cleared. Now, I want to appeal to the Honorable Chair and to this Honorable House that if there is anything that I have said before this House that suggests arrogance or something, I withdraw and apologize unconditionally. Number one, I am not an arrogant person, and I can never be tempted to be one. And therefore, I want to say I apologize and withdraw unreservedly any comment that might have been implied to mean that it was arrogance. Number two, while the honorable member from Lesotho was making his submission and wanting to make it clear, he has categorically stated that the Public Service Board, being independent and distinct, does not take orders from the county executive. Now, I want to be so clear here today, Honorable Chair, honorable members, that I did reach out to the Secretary to the Public Service Board. I made a call, not a letter, but I made a call. And I asked if they are in receipt of a letter requesting that we are here together with them today. And the communication was they did not receive a letter, and that now then my communication to them was going out late. You know, everyone has their own starting point, and ignorance in the face of law is not defense. And therefore, I don't know now if I was the one to communicate to the board, or the communication was coming out from the assembly to the board by way of being copied, or what was I to do apart from calling the board? Was I to write to them? I don't know. I think I'm lost in between. There is a question that has been asked again about why it has taken 1 year to respond to questions and statements that has been sought by this honorable house. I want to set the record very straight that I give this house the tremendous respect that it deserves. And I pray to God that I'm not cited for the contempt of this house any other day, any other time. And you know, the problem is that sometimes a statement is being sought, but it is transited to the Public Service Board. And I don't get a copy of that. Therefore, again, you know, I have looked at the in-tray. Even when I came here for vetting the other day, I remember clearly the leader of majority asking why there are statements that I have not responded to. And I said, I'm going to check my in-tray and see if there is any statement that has been sought from this house. And I remember clearly reaching out to the former chair, Benjamin Kerich, asking him, Chairman, I have not received any request to respond to any statement. So please, if I can get a copy so that I respond, I would do it. I even reached out to the leader of majority, asking that you asked this question and I have not received it. It is not in my in-tray. So now, honestly, if you have not seen something and you have not received it, and it is confirmed that it is something that has been forwarded to the Public Service Board, and not you. Now, you see, there is so little that you can do. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Okay. I think the CCM member has well expounded on the issues raised. Just before I say something, Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And thank you for the very articulate CCM. But, Honorable Chair, I find while we were vetting the CEO for the department that the CCM leads, we did look at him as CEO, ICT, and something government, something like that. Where is the CEO for administration himself?
Come again.
I'm asking,
the CEO for administration, because the CCM should have 2 CEOs. Where is the other one?
Honorable Isaac Mosbey. You know that probably that particular question is out of context for now. Honorable Keter.
Thank you, Chair. I still insist, Chair, we have been having difficult in terms of administration, Chair, because whenever we raise a question on regard to public service or neither the administration, we find it difficult for them to respond. As you have seen, the CC is very much willing to respond to those questions. But in that case, the reason why we say let us have the two parties here, Chair, it was for clarification purposes, and we direct to the right person, because we find that whenever we ask the public service question, they always refer to administration. Whenever we ask administration, they refer back to public service. So in this, I still insist, Chair, unless we attune and have the two teams around, we will achieve, Chair. That is my take.
I'm about to make a ruling. Honorable Isaiah Minor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Well, I agree with the whip. And I have also associated myself. I am inclined to take pity on the CCM. In fact, at some point, I became a bit tearful. He seems to be having a lot of problems. I'd like to remind him that the people of Nandi have given you, through this house, a very serious job. And indeed, Honorable Chair, this is the person who is in charge of the public service. He is the one directly answerable to this house. The myriad issues that we have directly rest at this doorstep. So when you see that person almost telling us that he is unable, almost telling us that he is lost, he would like to see things in his tray. I'd like to remind him that the county assembly is an oversight body. And we don't run your offices. We cannot even determine what will be in your tray or not. But it would be important that, because that is what he wakes up to every single day. Full-time employee. It cannot be possible that something stays for 1 full year, no written response. At least we want to believe that there will be something that is called collective responsibility. So I would like to urge, Honorable Chair, that whereas I take, I feel what he's saying, but I want to tell him that he should now, from today, wake up from whatever it is that he has been doing and realize that the county has got a problem of wage bill. There is a problem that this house appropriated resources recently to take care of. There was a process that took place in Kaimosi, the report of which is not with his house, and many other things. So we cannot proceed with the development of our people if we are going to have a wage bill of 60%. And this honorable CCM is under your doorstep. So I would like to urge, Honorable Chair, that we actually do not have time. So we should give them a date that must be almost immediate. And he should go and seek them out. I heard him even talking about a secretary. I don't know whether he can confirm to this house whether indeed there is a secretary in the board. Could he confirm that the board has got somebody called a secretary? Because he called him. I want to raise my case and request that, and second, the issue of adjournment, and that before he comes back or they come back, let us have written submissions beforehand so that we can read. And that could they please take this house and the people of Nandi a little bit more seriously. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. I think before Honorable Ezra, you have something?
Before, Chair, thank you for giving me this chance to add a little bit something on what Honorable Member said. The responses from the CCM member made me thinking we should clearly get to know the roles of this particular department, because as indicated in the acts of devolution, there is a position by the name CCM member in charge of administration and public service. So I think for purposes of record, we should be knowing as this house to what extent do they perform their responsibilities. If the County Public Service Board is excluded, what is their roles and what do they do at that particular office? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member from Kurgung. And as you respond to that, Isaiah Keter, do you confirm that the Public Service Board, whom do they report to? They report it to your department or any other?
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. Just want to state that, number one, the County Public Service Board, being distinct, being independent, does not report to the Department of Administration, Public Service, and ICT, and neither do they report to me as the CEC. In the county structure, as per the County Governments Act, we have the office of the county secretary, who is the head of public service. As it stands, the CECMs are state officers. Now, the Public Service Board, for coordination purposes, reach out to the county executive through the office of the county secretary. So the county public service does not report to the CECM in charge of administration.
I think that is well expounded. Honorable Isaiah Maina had sought to know whether...
Ana mwenyekiti pengine akiongezea tu, so kwa hivyo kazi yake haswa katika public service ni nini? Wacha atuelezee tu ni nini kazi yake anafanya on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. I just want to state that in a summary, County Executive Committee member reports to the Cabinet, and the CCM in charge of administration and public service reports to the Cabinet on issues affecting administration, public service, and ICT in that order. So at the end of the day, we are managing the public service that has been given to us by a body called the Public Service Board. So we don't get to recruit, we don't get to promote or even confirm employees. It is a function that is vested to a body called the County Public Service.
Honorable Speaker.
Wow.
I just want to ask one question, Honorable Speaker. And now all these recruits, all of them normally go to payroll. I just want to ask the CC, payroll is under which department? Is it finance or administration?
Thank you so much, Honorable, through you, Honorable Chair. Payroll is one of those centralized functions. When you look at it clearly, it is a centralized function. You cannot say today that payroll is domiciled or segregated into a department. It is a centralized function. Thank you.
Nadhani ni vyema
Yes,
bwana mwenyekiti.
yes.
Kuna nimeuliza swali. Yeye kazi yake kila siku ni nini? Na alafu sasa ya pili kuna hii ambaye anasema iko kati, imewekwa kati. Sidhani kama kutakuwa na kitu ofisi ambayo tu iko tu hapo yenye haina ambaye anaisimamia. Pengine ingekuwa ni vizuri atueleze.
Probably, Isaac Etera, you know, when you say centralized, is it, you know, where is it domiciled? As well put by the Honorable Member from Olesos.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would want to be clear that when we say centralized function, it is that function that is cross-cutting for all the departments. You cannot say that today...
Under which department, Keter? Because I believe you are not truthful with us. Human resource falls under which department?
Human resource falls under the Department of Administration of Public
Correct. Which is under payroll.
You cannot say that human resource is under payroll, because again, that would be conflicting. I would rather possibly you say payroll is under human resource, because the human resource cannot be under payroll.
Honorable Chair.
Just before you proceed, Honorable Minor, assuming what the Honorable Member from Tinderet, that payroll is under human resource. Assuming that that was correct, that payroll is under human resource. Is human resource not under the public administration?
Human resource is under public administration, Honorable Chair. But now, when a payroll is closed, at the end of the day, both IPPD and outside IPPD, it is transited to finance. From there, it is forwarded to the paying bank for processing of salaries. So when the payroll is...
Honorable members, I know we're digressing over the issues.
Chair, you know, the CEC in charge of administration is treating us like kids who doesn't understand anything. You cannot...
Why so, Honorable Bet?
I can say this, eh?
Yes.
The whole CEC cannot tell us, once you are done with the payroll, it transits to finance. Surely there must be somebody responsible in the Department of Human Resource, where payroll is part of this department. There is no single department that is centralized. There must be a responsible person. And the CEC is trying to take us in cycles and isolating payroll department from any management within the administration, surely. And that is why, Chair, I said, and I don't know the reason as why we're discussing and asking questions further. Let us adjourn until these people are prepared to face this committee.
Chair, well, before we adjourn, Chair, there is a means of communication that when we communicate before we adjourn, are we going to communicate the CEC administration or differently to the Public Service Board?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to blame game when come
I'll
next
give
before
those
we table.
directions, huh? I'll give
And
directions.
finally, Chair, as I ask another question is that through my layman question of understanding of human resource, despite the fact the road department has its human resource people, despite the fact the Department of Health, finally they will rest in the House of Administration. And I think we could have some guidance from there. Thank you.
Honorable members, I note the number of concerns that we're having with the CEC, but you note that we are unable to pick up or rather to proceed because of the reasons as advanced by the honorable members together with the CEC. But before I give directions, there was a question raised by the honorable member from Olesos that you had communicated to the secretary to the County Public Service Board. And his question was whether we have the secretary to the board. Was that so, Honorable Minor? Will you respond to that? Thereafter, I'll give directions, or now we'll be able to proceed with these matters.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I want to be very clear and sorry, perhaps what I said misled this House. We don't have a substantive secretary. We have an acting secretary to the board. Thank you.
Maybe one final question, Honorable Speaker. If I got clearly the CC saying they manage what comes from the public service fund. If that's my statement, maybe because I had him say so. So, but now that they are managing what comes out from the public service, are they at some point able to maybe advise, maybe now that is it service board recruiting on their own, or you advise maybe in terms of the number of, maybe assuming we want to recruit some personnel, who advises the public service board on the number and the other issues?
Yes, respond to that.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. The Public Service Board has a process of recruitment. And first of all, what informs recruitment is the need. Once there is a need, then it is transited by the department to the office of the county secretary, who then communicates to the board. And I just want to add that even when there is that need, then you should check the budget for availability of resources for that process of hiring, so that then it's communicated to the board via, if it is a new position, development of an intern. If it is not, then communication to the board for the need to hire new staff. Thank you.
Honorable members, I know any kind of response that the CEC in charge of administration, it will elicit so many questions, and we have to bring this matter to a conclusion. Honorable members, I want to appreciate your attendance together with that of the CCM in charge of public service and administration. We've noted a number of issues raised by both parties, and it is eminent that...
Honorable Chair, we've just seen some visitors to these chambers. Kindly confirm who are they.
Could they be the members of the Public Service Board?
Maybe just ask them kindly.
Well,
Just as Honorable Chair,
yes,
I think it's the CCM member too, because they joined the other side of the team. The CCM should be having.
But do you know the two members who have just stepped into these?
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and honorable members. We have been joined by staff from our county government, the executive. She's Dorothy from economic planning, and then Janet. Both of them are employees of the county government. Thank you.
That is noted, but to the new members, or rather to the new members who have entered these chambers, that is not the way on how to enter to a meeting. I think it is totally out of order. So, Isaac, let's conclude on this matter, please.
And I think, Honorable Chair, previously I had wanted to find out from the CCM whether indeed he's in charge of his team and his department. Because for junior members from his own department that he leads to come after him, honestly, Honorable Chair and the CCM, is the CCM really still in charge, Honorable Chair? Honorable Chair, I'm a bit disturbed.
I note that, Honorable Mosbey, and I think I've addressed myself to that issue. And I'm hoping that the CCM member will take necessary action against, his junior staff. Honorable Keter, what is it now?
Chair, I know you are about to make a ruling with what we know. But I was only interested to know, I've heard today that we have an acting secretary. Can CEC confirm for how long has been acting? So that as we make progress, because he has just mentioned that we don't have substantive secretary.
Like I said, honorable members, any kind of response that we are going to get from the CEC in charge of administration will elicit.
I would wish for you to indulge me, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Just for us to confirm from the CCM, what is the communication channel? Is it clear that any communication he has ever made to the board is through the county secretary? Can he just, probably on oath here today, say that is the only channel he uses?
The CCM, please.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, honorable members. Number one, I want to confirm before oath that any other communication that I've ever made to the County Public Service Board is through the county secretary, any formal communication. Of course, there are those ones of phone call. Like I said, I called the acting secretary to the board on the need for us to be here today. But on formal communication, I have never communicated to the Public Service Board directly. When there is need, I communicate to the county secretary, for the county secretary to communicate to the board.
When you communicate, what communication would that be? What would be the issues?
Thank you so much again, Honorable Speaker. The issues are far and wide. Of course, the issues are far and wide.
Just, 2 examples.
For example, if the department has need for new staff, we would communicate to the county secretary, who would communicate to the board for that particular function to be undertaken.
So finally, you could confirm that it is the executive which employs everybody through the board and not the other way around?
I think I'm lost in between because I don't want to confirm. I am under oath.
Isaiah Keter, we better rest that at that point because you note that initially you had submitted that you have no role at all in terms of employing the public service. And therefore, to suggest to this committee that at times you advise the board through the county secretary whether there is need for any employment will take us a bit far. So, honorable members, as earlier communicated that we don't have the members of the public service board. And again, we've not received any evidence from the clerk of the county assembly that indeed the members of the county public service board were advised to attend this committee on general oversight alongside the CCM member in charge of administration and public service. We don't have any evidence to that effect that indeed this letter was received by the board, and therefore it will be unjust for us to proceed with the CCM member in charge of administration and public service And we are making the following recommendations. First, you note that the CCM member in charge of public service and administration has confirmed to this committee on oath that there are no statements that were addressed to the public service and administration. Consequently, honorable members, any statement that relates to the public service and administration to be transmitted to the CC in charge of administration and public service.
Honorable Chair, could we, point of order?
What is it, Honorable?
Is it possible that the statement on the performance management plan for county public service, who was it addressed to? I thought it was addressed to them. Unless I'm not getting you right. You say there was nothing addressed to him, to them directly.
Yes, it indicates that this number of statements that were sought by the honorable members were only transmitted to the Public Service Board and not administration and public service, where he is the CCM. Is that correct?
I think that would be completely unfortunate. If that is the case, it has to be investigated, because the matter on performance, the matter on leadership forum, the matter on public participation had nothing to do with the service board. And
So,
I don't think that that was
It is okay, Honorable Isaiah Maina. The CCM member, you confirm that you've not received any statement on performance management plan on Nandi County Public Service?
I confirm, Honorable Chair, Honorable members.
That you've not received that. You also confirm that you've not received a statement as regard the Public Participation Act implementation?
Confirm, Honorable Chair, Honorable members.
What was the other one, Honorable Isaiah Maina? Those are the two statements. There were three. So you also confirm that you've not received a statement on the status of the implementation of the leadership forum?
I confirm, Honorable Chair, Honorable members.
Then the chair, on which basis is he here as a CCM for administration? Why is he here? He is lost.
No, Honorable Kirwa Mainde.
Chair, he has come with all the allegations tabled by the member. He might have been coming here for the purpose of questions lying on his department.
Honorable
Yes.
Kirwa Mainde, the CCM is present before us pursuant to the summons that were issued to him on 8th May 2024 to appear before this committee. And those were a number of issues that he was to respond to. Apparently, it's indicated that you've never received. You've never received.
Honorable Chair, somebody must be lying.
I note that.
Because there is even a complete schedule. If you look at the letter which the CCM confirms that he received, the one requiring him to appear today, has got an attachment signed by our clerk. And in that, there is a table there. There is a matrix showing the issues. So even if, for a moment, he didn't receive the letter, assume he didn't get it, when he got this communication, couldn't he even try to apply his mind? And I think I agree with the leader with the honorable from Terik. I get to ask, so why is he here? Why did he come? If he has never received any of these questions.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, we need to bring this matter to a conclusion. What
Honorable
is it,
Chair.
Honorable Isaac?
Since I sit in the committee that supervises or oversights the CCM, because we've not delved into the matter that brought the CCM here, it is unfair to conclude that the CCM is lying. To me, I think it is unfair.
The CCM, you know, there are a number of attachments that were attached to the letter that you received on 8th May 2024. You confirm that?
I confirm.
And those attachments includes these are performance management plan of Nandi County Public Service. You confirm?
Yes.
Is it for the first time that you received the said copies?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I think something is getting lost in between. That we have said that it has taken 1 year to respond. And I said I did not receive this. But now, in the letter that was written by the clerk on 8th May, it has this
just for the purposes of these proceedings, Waziri, just confirm that you saw these particular statements for the first time when you received the summons.
I confirm that, Honorable Chair.
Okay.
And what did he do?
Not that way. You know, we had requested him to appear before this committee, and indeed he has honored the summons by appearing before this committee. Therefore, honorable members, we'll hold this matter in abeyance as we find out whether indeed these particular statements were transmitted to that department earlier than 8th May 2024.
Honorable Chair, I wish to ask, the chairman of that committee is here. The chairman, the member who spoke here in defense is a member. Could they confirm whether this was done? And there is a clerk. Could we confirm now when they are still here?
Honorable Maina, I think we have made a direction on that we're holding this matter in abeyance as we look into the conduct, whether the said statements were transmitted to the CCM member in charge of administration and public service. Secondly, honorable members, the county secretary, together with the county public service board members, summons to be issued to the county secretary and the county public service board members to appear before this committee on Tuesday, 21st May at 10 a.m. I think those are the interim recommendations that we've made.
May I add something, Chair?
Yes, Honorable Maina.
That they give written submissions.
Honorable Isaiah Maina, I think we've directed that this matter be held in abeyance as we look into the issue generally. So I think to the team, Isaiah Maina, Isaiah Keter, and I'm sorry, I don't know why, and at times I've referred to Honorable Isaiah Maina as Honorable Isaiah Keter, and I've never heard him complain, but but I'm sorry to the CCM member. We're very grateful for having honored the summons to appear before this committee. I think this particular juncture, you stand discharged. Yeah. You are discharged, you are at liberty to leave as we conclude the committee proceedings. The meeting stands adjourned.